fellas, friends and neighbors and kids and all the gals out there. Who else? The folks and the people. I thought I'd show the kids how to play some guitar. It's really not that complicated. There's 6 strings. They all have a name because they all have a sound, and they're named after their sound. That's an E. So you got E's all over the place and other spots. But this string, when it's open, is called open, is just by itself. No pushing down on strings. That's an E. That's an A. D. G. B. And E. You hold the pick however you want, but basically get it like that. And I kind of curve them sometimes. Pick whatever picks come for you. Every time you move up, you're going to get a higher note. And same this way, right? So you can go, when you're going up something, it can keep getting higher. So just be aware when you're hitting strings, that's what they do. And if you barely touch them, they do this. They do nothing. So you've got to push them down really hard. You want to get it as close to the fret, which is those little metal lines, close to that as you can get it without it going and sounding weird. So you can sometimes go over, you can sometimes even go before, but if you go too far back, it'll start sounding fuzzy and weird. Now this guitar here, I had one kind of like it years and years ago, and it got stolen, and then the guy disappeared. Jumped off a bridge, I think is what I heard. Anyway, I never got it back, so I loved it. It was a great guitar. Anyway, I saw this thing in a pawn shop, and I didn't have any guitars, and I was in Calgary. And I thought, well, it can't be that bad. It was $100. I looked at it, and it was a little messed up. But I thought, $100, I can make it sound like something. So I bought it. I didn't even haggle with them. I just said, here. Then I looked inside. It was so messed up. There was a flood in Calgary, in a lot of Alberta, a few years back, and this was just after that. And I think this may have floated around someone's basement at some point. But not just that. Someone smashed this whole end, and it was all loose here. And inside, you can't see it because it's too dark, but all the supports that are in here were broken. And this is still, if you look at it, it's still warped. Look at the bridge. It's not right. So I hung this. I steamed it. I pulled on this. I pushed on this. I lifted and messed around. The buzziness was not coming out. Two or three of these frets sounded the same. I think I actually put a spacer under the bridge at one point because it was so messed up. Just so I could lift it up. And it was way harder to play, of course. The action's way higher. So eventually I just peeled this whole back right off. Took this binding strip right off. Peeled the whole back off. Repaired it all how it should be. Put it all back together. I wouldn't say it's great, but it does play. It sounds all right, and it's not bad for a $100 guitar plus labor of the guy who has no clue what he's doing. Turned out all right. It plays. I should probably change these. Maybe we'll do a video on changing strings, and then you'll see the difference in the sound. That'll be important too. So we'll just play these dead strings, and they get buildup of finger gunk, and they stretch, and the metals oxidize, and they, patina. They get yucky. Some guys will boil them. Some people wash them with isopropanol and things like that. The best thing you could possibly do, I would say, is go get some strings. And these can be handy for things too if you want to keep them. You can use them for lots of stuff. But anyway, before you can even play, you're gonna have to build up some calluses. You get yourself a cheap guitar. Find something cheap. Pawn shop's fine. Music store's fine too. Go in and talk to a music store guy, but don't let them sell you something that's expensive and say, "Oh, you'll be the best player." Get something cheap. Cheap is cheap. It's cheap. Even if you're a millionaire, go get a cheap guitar. There's no point in buying Jimi Hendrix's guitar and then having it sit there, unless you really want to just look at it. Because if you go and buy some, Yamaha's a good brand. I think they're around $400 now. A brand new, nice shape, no warped, whatever. There's Washburn. Fenders are probably $500 for, yeah. Buy something cheap. Learn all this junk, and then go buy something nice that you want. Go buy a Gibson or a Martin or whatever you want to get. I'm talking acoustic too. If you're gonna get into Fender electrics and then Gibson electrics, and I have a fake Gibson electric. We'll pop that out one day and play some Angus Young. No, we won't. We'll play some AC/DC though. Yeah, so what else can we learn just in this quick little sec here? As your notes go up, that's E, and then F is here, and then you got G up there, and then A, and then B, and then C. Notice those two are right beside each other, and then D, and then back to E. That goes all the way up on these, from E, A, D, G, B, E. So it would be A and B, which is B, C, D. There's E again. Oh, I messed it up. Sorry. Anyway, you get the idea of it. You can get into all that stuff with yourself. There's scales to learn. And sometimes you just, if you've been practicing like I did when I was 20, you could do that like nothing. I haven't played it in years. Anyway, there's scales all over the place. That one I was playing earlier. You want to learn chords. A. That's all three of those down, and you play this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Mute this one. You don't play it at all. C. C. You're playing all these ones, so you don't play the top one again. And you push on the third, second, open, and first, and then open. D is the one that everybody uses. You don't play the top two. And that's your, can you see that? It's the second one down there. Now, you always do it this way too, because you can probably figure out some other way to push them down, but then you won't be able to get to a different chord. When you're doing it this way, you can get right to a G, say. No problem. You just put this one down, and you got a G. Okay, so there's reasons they have your certain fingers in certain spots. This one's called 1, 2, 3, and 4. First, second, third, and fourth frets. I can't remember what they call this one. It's the top string anyway. They're both E's. These are both E's. So it starts all over again on this. And If you had another string, it would be the high B. E, B, G, D, A, B. Well, I mean, A. Sorry, I'm an idiot. It would be high A under there. So we want to play some songs maybe now. Okay, so learn a few chords. Now, when I was a kid, you had to go get a book. Now you can just Google it. Google how to play chords or G chord or whatever it is. There'll be a chord chart you can look at. I'll show you my poster here that I have. I've had it for years now, and it's a great poster. You can pause it and have a look at it. C, F, and you can play a C like that. There's different ways to play them. You don't have to push. That's a G, same as this. That's the only difference is this push it down, and you don't have to. It is still a G. Let's see, E. So open, 2, 2, 1, open, open. F is, well, F you don't have to do the very top there. So say it's like that. We usually play it like that. Oops, I'm not very good at F. It's been a while. So, okay, so like that. You're pushing 2 of them down here. 2 of these strings down, which is really hard to do. And then this one and this one. So 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sometimes you can fake it. You don't have to play the top. Whatever. You can slide that one too. There it is. So, and that's just F, and then the G, A, and it's the same as having that barred. That's called a barred chord. So you can bar. That is a G. See your G up here? Remember we said E, F, G, G chord, G chord. You can do that with pretty well any chord. C. Now cut the bottom off of those chords and just play the top strings. Power chords. G, C, A, D. Yeah. See, I'm not the greatest guitar player, but you can learn some stuff if you want to, and then go on your own, look up some other guys that know what the hell they're doing, because I surely don't, and I'm not a good guitar player or a singer or anything like that, but I like playing with it, and it's kind of fun. What else can we learn here? Yeah, power chords are easy to play. Lots of guys play power chords. Like a lot of metal and stuff like that is power chords. A lot of rock's power chords. AC/DC use power chords. Everybody does. Everybody. That's just the top of a barred chord. No, my dog's gonna bark. Maybe I'll stop it there for now. And we'll get on it in a sec.